So if I may, I want to ask all of you this question. I just read this. Do you know who the Bears' top choice to be their next head coach is?
No. I guess I was just thinking like Ben Johnson, but
No, that'd be the smart thing to do. No, they are targeting a defensive guru because that's what you do when you have the number one pick in the draft and you've already wrecked him.
Is it Mike Vrabel?
Mike Vrabel is apparently their top target, according to reports fresh today.
See, that's why I didn't want to guess it, because it should be an offensive mind.
Right. I think that'd be a terrible mistake, but that helps you, the Lions fans, and it keeps Ben Johnson from allegedly the most coveted job in his mind. There you go. Carry on with whatever you planned on doing.
So I have this one, Mike. I got a football today for you. I wanted to start in college, if that's all right.
100%.
All right, so I found this list on CBS. It basically has the 4 games that we're going to watch this weekend ranked from most to or least to most likely upset. So do you want to hear their rankings, or I want to hear what your rankings would be in the 4 games we're going to watch? First of all, what is most and least likely upset?
Wow. All right. Rico, you want to help me with this? Most likely upset.
You know, I've been pondering this for a while of what team, and I have to take out my personal bias of Penn State. I would love to see Penn State lose, but that's just my own bias.
Still would be Indiana for me.
You think they could upset Notre Dame?
Going to be some snow, some weather. I don't know.
You know what?
The Rush D. Maybe it holds up.
I'm going to say this. I think Tennessee, because I think that Ohio State would lose their home crowd if they start losing, or if things don't go that well, that they would start booing them and may out of spite.
Ryan Day runs a draw on 3rd and 9?
Yeah, and just out of spite start cheering for Rocky Top in Tennessee.
All right, Kenny, go ahead.
So the list is number 1 is actually Penn State. So, Rico, you get your wish there. Mike, yours was actually the 4th out of the 4, Notre Dame, Indiana.
Really?
Yeah. And then they had Texas, Clemson was 3, and Ohio State, Tennessee 2.
I can see Ohio State, Tennessee. I mean, because the whole thing was you get to home fans and the crowd. Their crowd hates them right now. They're still hung over from the Michigan debacle. And, yes, if Ohio State is losing or Tennessee comes out in the first drive and scores, the fans are going to boo. And if they're losing at halftime, I don't know if they stick around.
Now, I want you guys to help me solve a problem in college football right now. I call it the Bo Perbula dilemma. Playoff opt-out Penn State. To paraphrase James Franklin, spots are filling up on other teams, so we had to leave. Who are we blaming for this, and how are we fixing it?
Rico.
Who are we blaming for this, Kenny? We're blaming the supposed adults. We're blaming the people who run the NCAA. These are the presidents and the athletic directors, and supposedly the smartest people of the collegiate variety. They can't get this done. They didn't come up with hard and fast rules. They just kind of let stuff happen. And just like in life, people find the loopholes. They find every way to get around stuff. And now you're where you are right now with this. This is bad. This needs to be fixed. And this needs to be fixed now. And it's an easy fix. And you can't just go with the whole, well, what about this and what about? I don't care. Fix the overall problem. Don't give me, well, what about this one individual? Cry me a river. That person will live. We'll move on. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No, you said it all. No, the whole thing is a parody of an actual sport. The defense rests its case. There's nothing else to say. The whole thing's stupid. You got a kid leaving because he can't enroll in school if he stays with his playoff team. Oh, that's fun. We have kids opting out of bowl games, and we don't know about it. We have kids who have hit the portal but will still play for their current school. We have kids who sign with schools, then dip out, and then sign with someone. The whole thing is ridiculous.
Oh, because this all started, but before we had to the kids, it was the coaches. Okay, hey, great year. We made this bowl game. I just took a job someplace else, so my assistant's going to take over unless he comes with me to the new spot, and here we are. It's an easy solution, but they're not willing to do this, Kenny, and that's what's so frustrating about it.
So this next one here involves everybody, including David. I wanted to take kind of a pulse check on the Michigan and Michigan State fan bases because we're going into a playoff which neither team is involved. Are we just voting down Big Ten party lines? Are we just whatever's good for the Big Ten? We're rooting for Big Ten teams. David, I know you probably would have a hard time rooting for Ohio State in any capacity. I'm wondering if all the fan bases, if both fan bases feel that way.
In the playoffs, are you rooting for Big Ten schools? I mean, Kenny, I'll be honest with you. Yes. Like in the NCAA tournament and things like that, I'm very partial to Big Ten schools because you want to see them succeed, except for the schools that you absolutely hate. Looking at you, David. And then it's hard to root for that team. You're rooting for the other team. But yes, it would be nice to see Oregon go far, Ohio State. Like I would love to see a rematch of that game. Sure. Indiana.
I don't care about Big Ten teams.
You know?
Michigan and Michigan only. I don't care. Go out there and lose. Embarrass yourself. I don't care.
Conference pride. Brought to you by
I have
David
no
Hall.
conference pride. I hope everyone burns. I don't care. My team blows. I hope nobody has fun.
This accomplished exactly what I wanted to. I got the one aspect with Rico. I got the other angle with David, and Mike wants everything to burn down.
That's right. All of it to the ground.
Because it's like, okay, because Kenny, here's what I don't want, because in the end, I don't want you walking around saying, see, your pillow fights because the SEC just wanted it more.
It's kind of where I'm leaning.
Right. I don't want to see the
line.
SEC win again. It would be fun to say, hey, Kenny, where's your pillow fight now?
And a last one on college here before we get to the NFL briefly. Netflix announced that they're going to do an SEC thing that provides unfiltered access to coaches and players, which sounds like a cool thing that you might want to watch. But it was just announced recently, I think Brett McMurphy put it out there, that programs are not participating include Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Texas. So
Because you know what? Mike, if I could jump in first.
Please.
You don't want to see how the sausage is made. What?
Those are the schools I want to see.
And David, you don't want to see how the sausage is made because you know why? Those coaches would lose their job. Players would get kicked off the team. If you heard some of the things that the coaches actually said in practice, the PC police would not be happy. They would have to then explain to the world, what did you mean by that? That seemed kind of racist. That seemed homophobic. That seemed this. Why did you say that? You don't want to know how that sausage is made. Move on and just do your normal edited down version that's been heavily redacted because that'll make you feel good.
I just think those programs are above it. I mean, Rico, you're not wrong. David, what's the benefit to doing it? They already get all of the positive press. They get all the coverage.
Yeah, there is none. You're right. There is
none. They get all the media in their back pocket.
Yeah.
There's nothing they need.
Feinbaum and everyone will talk about them no matter what.
Right.
It'd be like if they did it in the Big Ten. What do Michigan and Ohio State need? Nothing. They already have a network in their pocket. They already have the pro media. They already have their incels in the media. They don't need anything. What's the benefit?
No, there's no benefit, Mike. I think what you would see, remember when Izzo yelled at Aaron Henry? And we didn't hear what he said, but you saw it, and it was the public outrage. Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine somebody blows a tackle in practice and Kirby Smart grabs them by the face mask and basically MFs them and tells them where they could go, and you can go back to your little hick town and do whatever and eat squirrel and raccoon, and I don't care. And you would have everybody saying, and well, yes. And and everybody would just be like clutching their pearls. I can't believe he talks to that man. Yes, that's called every football practice ever going back to PAL League. Yes.
So the one NFL thing I did want to touch on briefly is I wanted to, congratulate Rico and the Penix family because he's getting the start now. Cousins' arm is currently dead. It's speculated just because of his Achilles tendon that he wasn't able to get everything behind his throws and he was compensating. But in 2025, do you have any idea where Kirk Cousins resurfaces?
Cleveland. My best guess. Their cap's already in a complete nightmare. They're stuck with Watson, but they can't play him. They won't get a high enough pick to take a quarterback, and they can't waste the prime years of a guy like Myles Garrett. They can't waste Kevin Stefanski. They just have too much talent there to do nothing. How about Cleveland?
But wouldn't they need Atlanta to take a lot of that Cousins paycheck?
Nah, you just gotta. You know what, Rico? You gotta pull up the contract deal. If Atlanta gets rid of him, they get rid of him. I don't think they're gonna be able to trade him.
What happens is it'll be like a Russell Wilson situation. He'll eventually get released. because he has a no trade. It'd be like Derek Carr when he had the no trade. Well, you're not going to trade me anywhere. Just release me. I'll go wherever I want.
Right.
Okay.
To me. But look, Enrico, I'm not telling you it's going to be pretty, but they don't have any outs.
And that is in football today.